Welcome back to the JMU Women for Madison Women Who Amaze Summit. The next 30 minutes or so are very special. In addition to the over 300 summit participants, we have invited all JMU women around the world to participate in this special session about the state of scholarships at JMU and a big announcement about the power of JMU women. So welcome to our new arrivals. We hope you find this time together informative and inspiring. I am Wilma Bowers, class of 1983 and parent of class of 2017, and the chair of the Women for Madison Executive Advisory Council, or as I like to call it, the Executive Action Council. People ask me all the time, what is Women for Madison? Our tagline sums up our mission: celebrating women, supporting students, sustaining JMU. We bring JMU women together to network and support one another, but also to learn how women can support our students and sustain JMU's rise to national prominence. Since 2013, the Women for Madison EAC, a group of 25 volunteers like me, have met regularly to learn about JMU from the inside and to understand the philanthropic needs at the university. We have created plans to harness the collective power of women to solve real problems for our students and our school. To date, we have hosted activities to engage women at off-campus rallies. We've sponsored speakers tours and produced engaging summits like this one. We've also hosted smaller giving circles, typically in our home, to facilitate connections with JMU women, but this has been just the start. We are quickly becoming a leading force at JMU because Women for Madison is harnessing the power of women to focus on bold investments in JMU scholarships. These actions have directly supported President Aldridge's scholarship agenda for JMU as communicated through Unleashed, the campaign for James Madison University launched in 2018. I cheered when President Aldridge sent out this fantastic Unleashed news on Giving Day in March.
6.5 years ago, fueled by the passion of our alumni, parents, and others who care deeply about James Madison University, we embarked on a journey. We set the goal high for Unleashed, the campaign for James Madison University. $200 million over an 8-year period. Thanks to your generosity, at this moment I am able to share the great news that the Unleashed campaign has surpassed its $200 million goal. Of course, we're not done. Unleashed will continue through its scheduled conclusion at the end of June 2022. There are many deserving young people who still will need help to realize their aspirations at JMU. It's crucial that we sprint to the finish. Thank you so very much.
That was great news, and what a reason to cheer. Now, 2 months later, the Unleashed campaign stands at almost $210 million. That is the collective doing of nearly 58,000 JMU donors, of whom more than half are women. If you're one of them, I thank you. If you're not one of us yet, we're here today to show you why and how to join us in a special women's initiative. Today, we're going to show you why President Aldridge is emphasizing scholarships. You will hear from some stellar JMU students, learn about the pivotal role scholarships have played in their lives, why JMU needs to provide more scholarship funds to more students, and how JMU women can and will make a difference. Let's start with our fantastic students.
Through high school and through college, I've really been trying to explore my Native heritage, and I've always loved writing, and so I've been trying to find that way to connect those two and use my writing to speak about Native people and Native issues in a very meaningful way. But I never thought that I could apply that in a major. And I was talking to one of my professors and I showed them a poem I had written called Native, and it was one I was really proud of. And I think what he said is, "Corinne, what is your second major?" And I told him I was like international affairs, and he was like, "I just think that you would be better off finding a major that really aligns with what you're passionate about, because I can see that this is what you're passionate about." I never thought I would be able to double major, let alone be able to create my own major that like directly aligns with my passions.
Throughout my time here, the one thing I can say that I've really learned is that engineering is so much more than just a math and science field. It's got this whole other component, the social, cultural component, and to me that's huge. That means everything. You have to understand who you're working with, what their needs are, what their perspectives on things are before you can start to implement a solution. Going into my sophomore year, I was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to continue college at that point. Having received these scholarships has allowed me to continue on that path without any interruption.
My college career without scholarships, I honestly wouldn't be the woman that I am today. My major and my minor both intersect in a beautiful way for me. Intelligence analysis. It's very research-oriented and focused on giving the decision maker all the resources available for them to make the decision. But with poli-sci, I still get all the knowledge that I would have gotten as an analyst in intelligence analysis, but I have the power to potentially do something about it. I've had the opportunity to explore who I wanted to be in its full extent because I have this scholarship.
Accomplishing this with Valley Scholars has always been something that I'm proud of, because I've never been used to privilege like that. But then when I really went into the program and I met all the wonderful people, they made us feel so welcome. They wanted us to feel included at JMU, because even though we were young and we weren't even in high school yet, they wanted us to experience this.
I entered my sophomore year as a biotechnology major. My advisor, who was the teacher at the time, invited Dr. Wright. He was one of the people out of many professors that came and talked about like stuff they did. I personally really like working with diseases. When Dr. Wright spoke in my lab, he said, "We want to look at diseases. We want to keep them from happening." I really want to help people who are kind of unfairly put into these situations and they're forced to like change their lifestyle because of a disease that they just can't control. And I got the scholarship and I started doing research. I was like, it just really made me find my niche. It really made me like appreciate what I was doing more, and I was more excited for my classes. And it definitely was the start of where I realized like there's a path for me in science.
Students that are receiving these scholarships are in need of them and utilize them, and it really can change a student's life, and it can change their outcome in college.
I feel like by investing in a scholarship like this, you are reminding these people that they do have potential and that they are only limited by their own ability to pursue their passions. They're no longer limited by those outside factors that they can't control.
It's very encouraging. It's just knowing that someone has the faith in us to continue and to succeed.
The mantra of "we want you here" has given me life and truly reminded me that you have the power to do things here.
Wow, those are just some incredible students, aren't they? Wow, it just really warms my heart. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Donna Harper, class of 1977, and parents of 2008 and 2010 JMU alum. And I serve as the Vice President for Access and Enrollment Management here at James Madison University. But this is not about me. This is about the students that we have here at JMU. And we'd like to share with you some personal stories of the students that we have with us today who have graciously given up their Saturday afternoons to be with us. Let me introduce each one of them to you, and then we're going to have them answer some questions for us. You saw Chris Jones. He was actually on the video. He just graduated in May, one of the lucky ones that got to go through commencements. Congratulations, Chris. Joining him is rising senior Sam Aldridge, a SMAD major, who does our own social media for Women for Madison, and Daquan Nichols, who is a rising junior. And Daquan received the 2021 Witherspoon Scholarship in the Honors College. Welcome to three of you. We're glad to have you with us. Let me start with you, Daquan. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your activities you've been involved in, and your major.
Hi, everyone. Are you guys able to hear me okay? Okay. My name is Daquan Nichols. I'm a biophysical chemistry major. I picked the major because it just sounded interesting to me. At first I had no clue what it really was. But I know I love chemistry and I know I love math. And I knew like the physics and chemistry could all go together. Then biochemistry just all sounded perfect. So chose my biophysical chemistry major. My minors are math, pre-med, and honors interdisciplinary studies. And the honors aspect, I haven't really gone into it as much as my other majors, but math, I love math. Like I said, math is just, I like, I think of everything in a computational standpoint all the time. That's just how my brain operates. So just diving into a major or a minor like that, it really just helps me out. And then the pre-med major or minor, I definitely want to go to medical school or go to an MD PhD program when I graduate. So the pre-medicine aspect of that is just interesting. I love it. I come from Roanoke, Virginia. I moved 12 times in my childhood. And when I graduate from Harrisonburg, it'll be the longest place I ever lived. As far as scholarship goes, like a lot of other people in the video, I probably wouldn't have came to college if I didn't have any scholarships. My family just couldn't afford it. It was, I didn't grow up the best, as a lot of people, in the video did. Um, it's when it comes to the Witherspoon Scholarship, I just sent an email the other day to Mr. Jared in the Honors College, but this last semester alone, I had 5 friends pass. In this school year alone, I've had 7 friends pass. So going home to me like wasn't really an option, especially when it came to my mom. My mom's like, she thought it wasn't safe for me. It was a terrible spot to be at. But with the Witherspoon Scholarship, I kind of got all my housing, all my food, everything paid for just to be up here over summertime, and I can come right back during the school year. It was the greatest thing I've gotten this. I don't even know how long. Like it was amazing. And that's really my background. That's all there is to know.
That's great, though. That is great, Daquan. Thank you. Thank you. So, Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself and what your Madison experience has been like.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Aldridge. I am a transfer student. I came from Piedmont, Virginia Community College, based in Charlottesville, where I got my Associate of Applied Science. And then I came here to JMU. I had applied to a bunch of other schools. I applied to UVA, I applied to USC in California, and JMU stuck out for me because they offered me the Academic Excellence Scholarship. And that scholarship helped me, set in housing the same way that Daquan was saying. I was able to basically pay my way through. I've been working since I was 16. I've saved my own money. I've worked my heart out on everything that I've done in my life. And I am a creative advertising student in SMAD. And I do plan afterwards to definitely give back. I've been very impacted with Women for Madison, and being a social media person for them, I do plan on contributing back to this program. And the just scholarships help everyone. I've seen it from my friends that I work with. She's a Centennial Scholar. It changes lives, honestly.
That's great, Sam. So what's your favorite thing about being a JMU student?
Oh man, it's definitely the community. I love the school spirit. I love everyone being so inspired and empowered to have like the greater good and just, impact everyone. You're impacting everyone being at JMU. And yeah, just the love. Everybody loves each other. Everybody accepts each other. I love it. It's so diverse. It's so inclusive. And yeah.
Great. Thank you. Chris, go by Chris or Christopher?
There we go. Sorry, the unmute button wasn't showing up. I usually go by Chris.
Okay, great, great. Well, thank you again for being here too. So tell us a little bit about what your Madison experience was like and some of the things that you were involved in.
Sure. Yeah, so I recently just graduated, which is weird to say. Thank you. But yeah, so I was a engineering major at JMU, and I decided to do it a little bit different than most engineering majors because I ended up taking 4 minors along with that major. So I had a math minor, a physics for engineers minor, a geographic science minor, and a triple ADS, which is African Studies, and a diaspora studies minor. Um, and so, yeah, I kind of really just wanted to take the opportunity to learn as much as I could while I was here. Along with that, I completed the Honors 3 track through engineering. I was an engineering ambassador, a machine apprentice, so I worked in the machine shop for the past 2 years, and I actually got hired to continue working in the machine shop for 6 more weeks and train a new apprentice, which has been really neat. But around my sophomore year, as I said in the video, I was grateful enough to have been given the opportunity to come to school. My grandfather saved up a college fund for me, and that lasted my first year. And then both my parents lost their jobs, or they had lost their jobs when I was a senior in high school, but were still unemployed. So I really thought that there was possibly no opportunity to go back to school my sophomore year. I was lucky enough to receive a couple scholarships as well as a Pell Grant, and that got me through my sophomore year. But then the same worry kind of came out of that again after my sophomore year. And I was fortunate enough to have met Kurt Davies within the Honors College, or the scholarship office, and he told me about Centennial Scholars. And I was able to apply and become a Centennial Scholar. And that was the most incredible opportunity I've been given during my time at JMU. That scholarship, they change lives here. They give the opportunities to the students who deserve to be here, who just can't afford to be here. And it was the best 2 years of a community I knew nothing about when I first came to JMU. But as I graduated JMU, that was the #1 community that I felt like I could call on and associate myself with. So these scholarships that students receive who need these scholarships, it changes their lives. And unfortunately, there's right now not enough scholarships going to these kind of students. So we can definitely use a lot of support in that regard.
You are exactly right, Chris. Tell us what you're planning to do now that you've graduated.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be working in the shop for 6 more weeks, the machine shop here. Then I'm planning on moving up to the Boston area. I don't really have a job lined up yet. I'm looking at potentially the D-Lab and MIT, just trying to find out more about what they do. I really want to do international development work, and then go to grad school at some point in maybe a year or 2, but just hoping to kind of find a job up there that will help me grow and learn more so that I can really understand exactly what I'd want to pursue in grad school.
Fantastic. So do we have any Boston alums here at the Women's Summit? See if you can connect with Chris. Well, thank you, both Chris and Daquan and Sam, for being with us today. You truly are fantastic students, and you make me very, very proud to be a part of JMU. You truly are inspiring. And for Daquan and Sam, we hope you continue to have good success at JMU. For the rest of you that are now here and joining us in terms of understanding a little bit more about scholarships, you've heard from these students how important it is and what a difference it can make for them, what they can do to go on and achieve things once they graduate. The dilemma is we're losing these types of students. They want to come to JMU. They can do really good things. They can be successful. But right now, we are losing about 1/3 of the Pell eligible students who actually apply and are accepted at James Madison University because they can't afford to come here without these scholarships. JMU does not have enough of these scholarships, as Chris mentioned. The bottom line is our national reputation in terms of our academic institution has outpaced our resources. And it takes these philanthropic funds and people like you and me to help make a difference. So let me tell you just a little bit in the weeds, for those of you that might have some understanding of financial aid, about how this works. One of our goals here at JMU is to help make sure that students do not have debt when they leave here that's over the national average. We have been able to meet that goal consistently. However, the problem is with our Pell eligible students, that sometimes even with the loan that they're Pell eligible, the money that they get from the federal government and other monies that they're eligible for, like VGAP, a state grant and money, it usually still leaves them with a gap of $10,000. And that's why they can't come, because that would leave them with a debt of $40,000 or more by the time they graduate. And that's not right. But if we can get more money for scholarships, that we can give each of those students $5,000 to break that $10,000 in half, it becomes more manageable. A $20,000 loan is below the national average and is feasible. It also helps the students to understand what their financial responsibility is and their commitment to doing well here at JMU. So that's why it's just so important. We want these students to be here. They're excellent students and they do great things, and we want them to be a part of our community. Now, let me turn it over to Mary Ann Alger, our First Lady of JMU, to talk more about the power of women's philanthropy and how our giving can do something about this issue. Mary Ann, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is my great privilege to serve JMU as the presidential spouse, and a role I've been in since 2012. One of the highlights of my JMU experience has been to be part of Women for Madison since its inception. My husband, Jonathan Alger, and I are full partners in life, in work, in service, and in dreaming big, like you often hear him say. And believe me, John completely understands the power of women. I'd like to talk about how we, the women of JMU, can and should use our power to do something about what Donna just talked about and to help other students like the three we just heard from and the information we got on the video. Why women? Some people would say it's our nature to be collaborative, connected, and committing to helping others. The truth is, women have always been agents of change. We've been decision makers, peacemakers, voices of reason. We've nurtured families. We've been risk takers, innovators, and leaders. Through the ages, we have seen need in our communities, and we have responded together to initiate and sustain movements for social change. We've modeled civic involvement and philanthropy. We've taught our daughters to be leaders. Very likely we've influenced some of our daughters' friends as well. When women join forces, especially across barriers of age, race, or other kinds of barriers, great things happen because we are powerful together. Today, we're highly accomplished professionals, entrepreneurs, artists, and volunteers. We lead and serve on governing councils. And in our families, we are increasingly the ones who make the key financial and philanthropic decisions. We're the ones who decide to give to our churches, to support veterans with our money, or to infuse our communities with art. We look out for our own children and for disadvantaged children, and we make those decisions. Now we are talking about turning our philanthropy to JMU. This is a key tenet of Women for Madison, and we're not going to be shy about it. In fact, we're going to get bolder and bolder until we get the job done, because JMU needs us. And to be more specific, JMU students and future students need us. It's time for JMU women to act together in a very big and bold way, the way women have done throughout history. It's time for us to dig deep and pitch in financially in bigger ways. It's time for JMU Nation to see us working together and to see the impact we can make together. It's time for each of us to give to support scholarships. It's time for more students like the ones we've seen today be uplifted financially so they can achieve their potential. And now it's time for Dawn Smith-Barnes, one of my colleagues on the Women for Madison Executive Advisory Council, sporting the purple and gold as always. It's time for Dawn to talk to us about an announcement we're going to make about doing something big. Dawn?
Awesome. Thank you, Marianne. Hello, ladies. I'm Dawn Smith-Barnes, class of 1993, and I'm thrilled to let you in on a little secret. We've been cooking up something big and bold. All spring, women have been stepping forward to bring a new idea to life in a new way at JMU. We are doing it because we recognize the difference JMU has made in our lives and the sense of community that JMU has given us. We believe future students should have the same opportunity to participate in the Madison experience that we had. And as Marianne just pointed out, women are powerful together. So I am pleased to announce the launch of Women for Madison's Amethyst Circle. This giving circle is new. It's created by women, for women, to support what's most needed right now. Scholarships for students who cannot afford to come to JMU without our help. The Amethyst Circle is making a difference, and I am loving it. We created this vision together, and now we're launching it. I really love that I have the opportunity to invest myself and my financial support in a league with other JMU women. I urge all of you today to join us in this bold cause. Here's the deal. We are seeking a minimum of 200 women to give a combined total of $1 million for scholarships. That's our goal. And we want you to be one of us. Imagine the power of your philanthropy combined with that of everyone here with us today. Imagine the doors you can open for students like Chris, Sam, and Daquan. And I've got some great news. We are off to a great start toward our goal. Canny, tell us more.
Thank you for kicking us off, Dawn. You have been a vital member of our EAC, and we are just so thankful for that. I'm Canny Campbell. I've met you many times in the last weekend, but I'm the Executive Director of Women for Madison, and I am honored to be leading the initiative with these wonderful ladies. About 2 years ago, a few staff members and I went off to Indianapolis to learn at a conference about women in philanthropy at the Lilly School of Philanthropy. There, we met and worked with a national expert on women's giving, Kathleen Lair, who taught a room full of nonprofits and higher education folks just like us the power of women's philanthropy. Ladies, let me tell you, that workshop lit a fire in me and my team. Women's giving circles have been trialed and successful in a handful of other higher ed institutions around the country. We knew there was something incredible out there that never had been done at JMU, but was absolutely achievable if we were brave enough, if we worked together. Why not JMU? Why not the women of JMU? So long story short, Women for Madison and JMU staff together, we worked together like never before. We planned, we advocated, we brainstormed, we workshopped, we focus group, we pulled out our hair, we cried a lot, we laughed a lot, and we stressed. We everythinged this idea from scratch. Bit by bit, the picture became clearer, the goal more tangible, more attainable. The idea was JMU women giving together at a level never seen before. And now the Amethyst Circle is born because of women like Wilma, Dawn, Jamie, and many others who are leading the way to become founding members to stand this initiative up. These amazing JMU pioneers are trailblazing a path which will not only deliver an incredible legacy for students at JMU, but be modeled by other institutions around the country. Women for Madison, this EAC, and JMU are leading the way. To date, I am thrilled to announce, and I'm getting a little choked up, we have 42 founders who have raised their hands because they want to be a part of this exciting collaborative venture. 19 founders are here today, and I'd like to recognize all of you. Founders, if you would please turn on your cameras now and wave so that we can all see and cheer you. These generous and visionary women have provided the seed funding for the Amethyst Circle by pledging $15,000 each that will go towards scholarships and further build women's philanthropy at JMU. They will forever be honored as our founders. The pledges of these generous founders are now totaling more than $500,000. Thank you, Amethyst founders, for leading the way toward our $1 million goal. Ultimately, these funds will provide scholarships at a rate that Donna explained that will close the opportunity gap and make the Madison experience a true reality for incoming freshmen. Thank you, founders. It is not too late to become a founder. I encourage each of you here today to join us by making your founding pledge of $15,000 by June 30th. Don't be nervous, because you can pledge now and fulfill later. You have over the course of 2 years to do so. I hope you will consider joining us. To learn more, put a message in the chat and we will follow up with you immediately. Now, if the founder level feels too steep for you, there is another giving level that might match your circumstances. Remember, Donna said earlier that $5,000 is that magic number for annual scholarship support award. You can become an Amethyst Circle member by pledging that amount and then fulfilling your pledge over the next 2 years. That's our other option. Why is 2 years significant? Because 2 years from now, in May 2023, we will gather again for our next summit, this time in person. And at that time, we will recognize each of you, celebrate our successes together, and meet the students that we have helped with our Amethyst Circle membership. Imagine just how much more amazing our Women for Madison Summit will become by then. So now is the time to join the Amethyst Circle. There are multiple ways. The instructions are on the screen. And as you've heard today, funding scholarships is absolutely critical at JMU, and you can help by joining the Amethyst Circle. While you are making your plans to join this circle, let me introduce to you another Amethyst founder, Jamie Jones-Miller, who is the vice chair of our Executive Advisory Council and a passionate spokesperson for Women for Madison and for JMU. Jamie.
Thank you so much, Canny. And thank you all for joining us today. I'm Jamie Jones-Miller, class of 1999, a BA in International Affairs. While I was at JMU, I was a member of Alpha Sigma Tau National Sorority and the JMU Women's Varsity Basketball team. Canny, I'd like to thank you and your team for everything that you have done to highlight the power of women in philanthropy. And Canny, especially to you for making your own commitment as an Amethyst Circle founder. We could not do it without this excellent team. I give to JMU because I believe in JMU's tradition of holding the door open for others. I am thrilled by the opportunity to open more doors for prospective students to make the Madison experience possible for them through this campaign. Now, I am proud to join the Amethyst Circle because I believe that the strength of JMU can be found right here in Women for Madison. From 1908 to 2021, the purple and gold thread that has woven through the fabric of what is now James Madison University are the women who have walked our campus and paved the way for each of us. Imagine what the women who first set foot on the campus of the State Normal and Industrial School for Women at Harrisonburg in 1908 would think of this bold move that we are making today. Imagine what they would say if they knew that more than 40 women have already stepped forward at the founder level to say, yes, I will invest in the future of JMU. So today, I invite you to join us. Stand up, own it, be visible, show up, be the change. Let's change people's lives. Let's do it for the next Sam Aldridge, Chris Jones, or Daquan Nichols, who is out there dreaming about coming to JMU. I know that there is no limit to what we can do when we unleash the power of Women for Madison. So I'd like to thank all of our participants today, our speakers, our students, our founders. I'd like to thank our Unleashed audience. We are so glad that you took time to join us today. And to our summiteers, we will see you at the next session. And let's get out there and open more doors at JMU. It's time. Thank you.
The story of James Madison University is epic.
Its rise over the last 50 years has been incredible.
When we graduated and left Madison,
that's when we truly realized the spirit of Madison was different.
That's when we realized that we were different. The spirit of possibility that we carried away from our JMU experience
began to spread wherever we went.
This really matters.
Now we know what needs to happen. Now that we've taken our places in society
and see what a positive difference the Madison spirit of possibility can make,
the world needs to know just how phenomenal this university really is.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time all of us come together to help raise up James Madison University
to the place of prominence that it deserves.
It's going to take all of us.
And we can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it. We love a challenge.
And we're ready.